Hello everyone. So let's continue with our lesson. We were working on our resume and how to build it with HTML tags. So we have done up till industrial training. We had our text from this industrial training. And now we will look into how the table formatting is done. So here in this section, research and research and project experiences, we see there is a table. It has two rows, 1 and 2 columns. So we start visualizing this in your document, how many rows and columns you have in a table. So in this education block, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and also 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So education will need 4 by 4, a table by 4 by 4. And in awards and achievement, we can see 2 rows and 2 columns. So similar to research and project experiences. And extracurricular activities, also we have 2 rows. The first row is very thin, but the second row has a list. But in terms of rows and columns, this is also a 2 by 2 matrix. So let's look at table tags in HTML. What do we have in HTML? So if you come to table formatting place, so we have looked into the common tags. We have looked into these. We have looked into text formatting. For now, we'll skip the structure and the document structure. So document structure, these are not, currently we're not using this. So let's come to table formatting. So in table formatting, we have the table tag. So you use a table tag like this. And then the names are pretty intuitive. We have a T head, which is the header of the table. Just like in a document, HTML document, you have a header. So this is a table header. And then there is a T body, which is the table body, and T foot, the table foot. And then in each of these 3 sections, so these are optional. You might have one or many of them. You might, the T body section is mainly always there if you have even one cell in your table. And inside each of these sections are the TR, the table rows. So table row tag. So this will start with the TR, close with the TR. And inside this TR, we will have the table cells. So table cells are 2 types. There is a table header tag TH, close TH, and the generic table data tag, which is TD and TD. So let's proceed with this, what we have learned in our structuring, we will put that. So let's copy this part. So we know that this heading is our H3. Let's copy our H3. And let's go to the editor that we are doing previously. So this is what we have done till now. So let's paste after this HR. Let's paste the content we have. And this will be a H3. So we know it is a H3. Open H3 tag, paste the content, and close the H3 tag. Let's run this. So yeah, so our tag comes in. Now let's look at stable. So for beginning, let's check how we can have the cells. So simply put, so I will put my T body because my table over here doesn't have a distinct header part. This table does. This table has a header part. So here we will have a T head. But for this current table that we're copying, there is no distinct table header part or footer part. So I'm just putting the T body in it. So let's start with the T body and close T body. Inside this T body will be our table row. TR/TR. So if we run this, we will see nothing right now because there is no content inside the table. We have to put something inside it. So let's put this sample TD. So this is the first row and the first column. I'm putting 1, 1, just like in our matrices. Another TD/TD. So this is the first row and the second column. Similarly, I can copy this whole thing. Let me paste this back again. So 1, 2. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 3, and 1, 4. So if I run this, now I will start seeing one row. So it seems like it's just a paragraph, but once you put more content, it will become clear that it is actually a full table. Let's put another column. So if I'm going to do that, let me copy this thing. And here the columns will be 1, 2, 3, 4, but the row will increment. So the rows we are incrementing. And when I run this, it's like 2 paragraphs. So 2 lines, one after the other. So let's put actual content, text content, and see how it starts looking like. So here I have these content. This is in one row. In fact, I will copy the whole thing so that I don't have to come back and forth. Let me paste the whole content after the table. and I know that there are two cells, 2 columns and 2 rows, so I'm putting just 1 1 and 1 2. So we have seen that only the first part, the first 2 lines are in the first column and the description is on the second column. So similarly we'll do that. We will take that part, take this part and put it in the first column. Let's break this up into another line and let's take the content from here and put it in the row 1 column 2. So if I run this, now you will see the table taking up the whole place. So you can see this 2.1, 2.2, now these are in 2 cells. This 1 is showing up and these are actually 2 different columns. So let me do the same thing with the second row. I'm cutting this, the second row and the first column, pasting it in there, and then breaking this line TD and putting the rest of the text that we have into this second row and second column. So let's run this. So you can see these have lined up. They're like left column we have 1 and 2, and on the right column we have the description of the projects. And we also remember there is a bold line on the left column, so we'll do that as well. This part, the whole thing including 1. So we can have this, Control X, have our B tag, have the B tag, and then obviously have the BR tag, otherwise it will not go into the next line, and run this. So now you can see that this first line becomes bold and the second line remains normal. Similarly with this part also, we'll do the same thing. We will have the B tag and then the BR tag, breaking that line. With this, we have our research and project experiences, the 2 columns, 2 rows and 2 columns. Let me put a HR after this. Now let's get to the next table. So this one is a 4x4 table we have seen, and education is anyways H3. So I'm not copying this here. Let me write this directly. H3, education, and this is the H3. And this is the content that I have got from there. So once you run this, you see education and all the text will anyways line up like a paragraph. So now we have to break this up into the table. So in this table, we actually have a table header. So let's start with the table tag, open and close. Now I have a T head. So let me have a T head. Let me close that T head. And inside we will have a T row, TR/TR. Inside that we will have the table header. So this is a TH, and the first table header was degree. So let's cut that here. Let's put that here. Now see, by default it is bold. So this is also a special thing. In case of T head, it will be automatically made bold. So let me copy this 4 times. We had 4 columns. 1, Control C, Control V, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I have 4 columns. So this is inside the table. This is not inside the table. So this is just text after the table. So let's replace this with the actual T headers. So this is degree, institute, duration, and performance. So I have all the 4 headers in place. Let me run with that. So it comes inside the T headers. All of them are in bold, strong format. So after you have the table header, now you want the T body. So similar to the T head, you will open the T body. So the editor is also helping us by telling that something is red, there is a problem if there is a red. So we will work accordingly. Now inside the T body, there is a TR. And inside TR is a TD. So in the TD, so this and ampersand, these are red because initially in the beginning of HTML, this ampersand used to be special characters. So you have to escape it, just like in JavaScript we have escaping. We had to escape this with this AMP, and then a semicolon. But this is optional now because now HTML can handle this without any problem. But I am still showing this for legacy purpose. You will know that whenever in your HTML code you see this and ampersand AMP, that is actually the ampersand symbol when it renders. So if you render it, you will see that the and remains ampersand, this ampersand. So this ampersand is in HTML, it is ampersand followed by AMP semicolon. So for the first column, what we had the degree, name of the degree. So we will take the name of the degree, cut it from here, put it in the first. Now check how the columns are resizing themselves, because it is going to take all the available space. So this is the first cell, second cell in the first row, T body. So it starts expanding and pushing the other columns, other cells, according to what is the content. So when I put the second part, which is the institute, so we'll put up till this institute, and I think there was also some bold. Okay, so there is no bold of the text. So we'll have another TD, another cell inside this same row, and I paste this inside. So this just keeps going. Is there a break? So we'll see if there is a line break required. And then we'll have another TD, which will have the duration. Yes, so we'll have the duration that will go inside this TD. So sometimes we'll make the mistakes of putting it in between this closed TD tag and the open TD tag, and then those text will not show up. So suppose you put here my name, let me put my name. So this will totally fall outside the table. So this will come on top of the table. So then you know that you have missed something with the tags, and you have placed it between two TD tags, between two adjacent TD tags, and not inside a TD tag, in which case it will show properly. So now the performance is remaining. So let's put TD/TD, and with that I have the first column, the first row in the T body, in the table body. The first row is ready. So you can see all this is in the first row. This is the T head and this is the T body. So let's also finish the next TR. So the next TR accordingly /TR, and we'll have some TD. So I know there are 4 TDs. So let me copy this quickly so I don't have to type. Control C on this one cell, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 4 cells, and we also know there is also another line which will come again. So let me get ready for that. So when you have empty cells, you can copy and paste these empty cells and get ready, and then replace the content. So you have high school. I think this is the degree. This goes into the first. So be careful putting it between the TD. So when you are using an advanced ID, maybe the ID will give you hints what is wrong and what is right. But here we are it's just an online editor, simple editor. So we have to be careful where we are putting our content. So this is the institute. So this will be not here. I'm again specifying it is not between these two, but between these two. So put it there. Then you have the duration. You put it between these two TD, TD open and TD close, and then the rest of it. So this part goes into the last one. So if I've done everything right, so things are lining up properly. You have this in the first column, second column, third and fourth. So the table is taking its shape. And for the third column, so we have school, this third row, this is third row. So in the third row, first column, then the whole institute name, go from there, between TD, that's there. Then the duration, this is the third cell, and the fourth cell. So maybe for continuity purpose, we can just have 1990 here. So we have 2 dates. And look how nicely they have all lined up. So now the table, there are 4 rows and 4 columns. So let's move to the next table. What do we have in the next table? So this is awards and achievements. So let's put this in the next H3. Let's see how should we put a HR in between. Let's see how it looks. So we have this awards and achievement, H3. So HR would actually help to differentiate between the two parts. So yeah, so we have awards and achievements, and then you take these. So this is very simple. It's like just similar to other one. I'm more interested in doing this part. So this part has a list. So now we'll look at, you will come across the li ul li that we did in the first block, right? It was there, ul li list items. So this thing, now we'll try to do this in our table. So let's take this part, whatever. So first let's take this one, and I'm going to replace this one. This one you can do by yourself. I'm leaving it as exercise for you. And now we will do this table, which will also have a list. So extracurricular activities. Let's copy everything inside the table, and let me paste that here. So again, that ampersand, you know, it is ampersand, and inside the table I have, do I have a T header? No, I don't have a T header. So these are like T body. The entire thing is a T body. So I can neglect the T body tag for now. And inside the TD, the first TD. So you're also sure that there are 2 cells in every row. So I will do what I did in the previous table. I will copy the cells, create 1 empty row, and then copy that and make 2 rows. So this is a 2 by 2 cross 2 table. The first row will have this text. So in the first cell, I will put this, and it was in bold. No, it was not in bold. And then the description of that line. So this part has gone. So the first row between TD and close TD, and so the first row, it looks like in one line, but it will soon be clear that this is actually a table. And in the second row, what I had was, I had this in this cell, and the next cell in this will be the table. Will this be the list? So it starts with, from the beginning, it starts with the list. So let's look at list. It's unordered list. So we'll use the ul/ul. And here we'll have 5 lines. So 1, 2, how many lists? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of those. And we can have those 5 here. So just like before, whenever you have empty tags, you are going to close, you are going to copy that empty tags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 LIs. Let's see how it looks like. It will be empty tags. So I have not put in the content, but those 5 are right here. Now I can cut each of this line and put it in each of these. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Voila. So here are the 5 list items that we had from there. Now there is a last line, which is like the footer for the whole thing. And let me put another HR to separate these things. And let me paste whatever I had here. So currently they will all scrunch together because I don't have this, how to do this. Or maybe I can. Maybe I have a table and have 3 columns just for this. So let's try that also. Let's put a table in here, /table. This one has only T body, so I am going to not mention the T body. I will keep the TR, and then here I will have the TD and 3 cells. So it's V, V, V. And the first one was bold, first line was bold, rest is not bold. So we'll do that same thing. This one will take, cut it out. First put in the B tag, then inside I will put the text content. And this part, so this is not my real email or phone number. I have just put some dummy text for now. And here is my updated text. So this will go into the third cell, and let's update this date. It's November and this year, so 2023. So now it looks quite good. Okay, the table is still scrunching up because it will only grow up till its content. So there is no way right now with pure HTML to make this go across. We'll need CSS for this to take the whole space. So once we have a lot of content, then the table grows to take up the whole available space. But if it is too big, then you can see that the table will become smaller and it will wrap with the content. So now we have a decent, we are missing one of those parts, but that is a simple, this awards and achievement is a simple task for you. So once you add all of that together, so now we have our table, entire table. How do we make this live now? So we have created this index. So inside this index, we go and edit it and the whole thing. So we paste it here. So up till updated this month, this year. From beginning, we had the links. Once you have that, you commit the changes, update, added table tags. So let me be more explicit and say table tags, and now we have our content as a table. Commit that into the main branch, and once it commits, you can see that brown dot. Yeah, so the brown dot comes up, and if you want to look into the details, so the build starts. So here you can see how the build is happening. So there are multiple processes which are going on, which will make our site live. So previously it was like this. It was only up till industrial training and there was no tables. So in the meantime, I will also show you something, that the code that we have written, you can see view page source or control U. If you do view page source, this is the code that you have written. So in the browser, if you want to see, you can, let's do a line wrap and zoom. Yeah, so at this stage, you can see that whatever code you've written, you can also see in the browser. The browser takes this chunk of code and then the browser renders that and makes sense out of it. And finally, this thing happens. Finally, it shows the web page. So our deployment is done. If I refresh this page, now we have our tables. So these are actual tables. If you want to view, if you want to inspect, you can inspect and see that my tables are starting to show. So if I hover on my table, or maybe also use this particular, you can see I can hover on each of the TT cells and this will show that this is actually a table. You know, this is a table part and this is also part of a table. This is list items in UL. Also, if I do my control U now, view page source. So now this is updated. You can see the table, exactly the code that you have written. Those codes start showing on the browser and your entire thing. Now this is the website, the web page view. We'll also want to look at the print view. When you are printing, like I said, that it would start looking more like a actual CV that you print on a A4 sheet. So now it is starting to show all the pieces. So if you put all the pieces are there and your tables are looking nice and dandy and these things are properly lined up, there is no visible error. We can obviously make it more beautiful. So once we have more understanding of CSS, we can get more closer to what we started from, what we are trying to mimic. So we'll get closer to this one once we have put our CSS. But in terms of structure, the document structure, you can visualize that this has come very close to. So this is our code. And we have two commits. So we did a create and now we added the table tags. So that's it for this lesson. And in the next lesson, we'll start looking into document structure and HTML structure. So how to put your HTML in a proper document, doc type structure. So that is an interesting thing to look into. So see you in the next lecture.